Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your February 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic cross spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom and oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off my roll nose astrology as we have in front of us to get an idea of where you folks should be as far as that goes. Okay, well, we have Libra, and that's you guys. So, you guys have the South Node in your sign. It's been there for a while now. But astrologically speaking, not much else going on there. But of course, could just be saying that you might have a focus on yourselves this month. We have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in Taurus, which for you guys is your 8th house of death, rebirth, investments, and intimacy. And when we have the new moon in Aquarius around the 9th of February or so, it's actually going to be making a square aspect with Uranus. So that's definitely going to bring some of that intensity out a little bit more. And we have 3. So third house energy for you guys is Sagittarius. Generally speaking, third house points to communication, siblings, and short journeys. Astrologically speaking, not much going on there either in February, but yeah, could just be saying that you have a focus on that area of life as well. Alright, so with all those energies out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Tower, and challenging that, we have the 5 of Wands. So really what comes to mind with these energies here, first and foremost, is the fact that we haven't had that full moon in Leo yet at the time of recording this, and it's actually going to be in these first 10 degrees. So that full moon in Leo could be when you might experience this Tower moment. So for some of you might have already gone through it, for those of you who are watching this in February. But yeah, this could just be pointing to, if that's the case, maybe there'd be a conflict among your friends, right? So that could be what comes to the forefront there. I will say that full moon will be making a bit of a square aspect with Jupiter in Taurus. So yeah, could definitely be some squabbles there around your friendship groups, possibly even related to finances in some way as well. So with that in mind, right, if you feel the energy coming up to the surface, you could try to avoid that, especially around those few days of the full moon. Right, in the foundation position, we have the High Priestess. So yeah, seeing this in foundation says to me that some of you might have already kind of felt that coming up to the surface, right? So for some of you, you might very well find a way to avoid the situation, or even just remove yourselves from it ahead of time, which could in turn lead to things unraveling and causing a tower moment for the others in the environment, whereas it's not really going to directly impact you. But yeah, either way, I feel like this is saying really just trust your intuition this month, and if you feel like something's going to be bubbling up to the surface that you don't want to be a part of, then it would be best to withdraw. Right, in the Phantom's position, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, this is a Capricorn energy here. It could just be saying that maybe this is what you've been putting your focus toward, right? Maybe working on your home environment, right? Trying to beautify it, trying to improve it, especially given that there is a ton of energy in Capricorn at the time of recording this, and pretty much through a decent chunk of February as well. But yeah, could just be saying that that's where your focus has been lately, so you might have already, for the most part, withdrawn yourself from these types of environments anyway. Right, in the present position, we have the World. So yeah, whether you've already gone through this Tower situation or it's still something that's within the immediate timeline, seeing this here says to me that you've learned what you needed to learn from the situation. So for some of you, this could just be saying if you've been resistant to leaving something behind or someone behind, right, that you know that you should have, then that Tower moment might come along to do it for you, but with the same thought in mind that, yeah, you've already learned what you need to learn from the situation, it needs to go, right? But for others, this could point to, like I said, some of you might feel that type of situation coming to the surface and withdraw yourselves, knowing that, yeah, I know what's coming, I want no part of it, right? All right, in the near future position, we have the Magician. So yeah, to me, another indicator that says here that, hey, whatever's going on in the environment, right, whatever comes your way, you do have what it takes to handle the situation adequately, right? You're well equipped for whatever comes your way. So definitely a good thing to see there, right? Because, I mean, of course, ideally you wouldn't see the Tower card in your spread, but if you do, looks like you're pretty well equipped to handle whatever comes from it. Right? In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Four of Cups. So yeah, for some of you, this could just be a situation that you've been finding disappointing anyway, right? So like I said, whether it be in work environment or friendship group, whatever the case may be, you might have felt yourself disconnected from it already anyway. But for whatever reason, maybe you're having a little bit of difficulty from removing yourself from it. But it looks like that might be changing this month. Okay, in the environment position, we have the Emperor. So for some of you, this could just point to you taking more control over your life and your environment, right? And actually putting your foot down around the situation. For others of you, this could be pointing to an energy that you might be dealing with, right? And that could be the conflictual energy. And for some of you, that could be saying that that's where you're trying to pull yourself away from. Either way, those dynamics will make a little bit of sense as far as given that you have the North Node in the Aries, which is what this card represents, in your opposite sign. There could be that push-pull dynamic there, right? Sometimes it's going to be others trying to exert themselves on you in some way, but also within that same dynamic, that's going to try to pull that energy out of you as well. Okay, in the hopes or fears position, we have Justice. So yeah, excuse me, I feel like this is saying that whatever situation you are going through, you're hoping for it to pan out in a fair way, right? So again, like I said, even if you do decide, oh, I'm going to exert myself and remove myself from the situation, there's the opening part that, you know what, I hope I'm doing the right thing here, right? I hope that I'm really not seeing the situation clearly, that there's not something I'm missing, right? And that I really am meant to leave it behind. Or if something leaves your life, right, that you weren't necessarily prepared for, you hope that, okay, hopefully that was for my highest good and something will come and fill its place in a positive manner. Right? And in the outcome position, we have the Devil. So more Capricorn energy here. And yeah, it could just be saying that for some of you, these could be things that have really been hard for you to separate yourselves from. Now, for some of you, this could even just be saying that as we progress through February, you might still find yourself tied up into these situations. And if that's the case, I feel like this is saying that it more or less might just prolong that Tower moment. I always point out to people when these cards move in the spread together that the Tower card actually comes after the Devil, right? So it's like, okay, the Devil card, if we think about even what the traditional meaning of that is to say that there is a lesson meant to be learned from the situation, right? So you go through the situation until you learn a lesson, then you're freed from it. That's usually what that Tower moment represents. So I feel like this is saying, depends on how ready you are to leave it behind, right? If you are, then it would feel a little bit less abrupt. Whereas if you don't, it looks like the universe is going to put something in the works to remove it anyway. Okay, and excuse me, bottom of the deck we have the Two of Pentacles. So Capricorn energy here again. And yeah, this is something that you've probably been on the fence about for a while, right? So like I said, for some of you it could be a financial thing, others of you it could be friendship group, maybe even family connections, right? Where maybe you felt like, okay, should I stay? Should I go? Right? I feel like those energies are going to keep coming to the surface for you guys this month for you to deal with. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have always do your best and honor yourself. It says, honor the man or woman that you are, take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, right? Especially if you've been limiting yourselves in some way, right? Maybe not expressing yourself to the fullest because you felt like, oh, it would be rejected, right? Or maybe people would react negatively to it in your environment, right? Well, it could just be saying in that regard, maybe that's just more of an indicator that rather than accommodating those people constantly, maybe you need to find a more supportive environment. And I get it, easier said than done, right? Moving on to the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Observer. There's the artwork, and the number is 49. So interesting to see the moon there, because we were just talking about, for some of you, that full moon in Leo might be significant. And then also, there will also be a new moon in Aquarius, which is going to be pretty intense with that square aspect from Uranus. So be on the lookout for the major lunar cycles in February as well, as far as times where you might see more guidance around your situation. Okay, essential meanings. It says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when there are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'd be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So, definitely a positive message there, right? Where even if, let's say, if this is a group that you're with that you do find yourselves getting into a bit of a clashing energy with, right? You might even start to see that, okay, maybe it's not so much that they're bad people necessarily, but just that where I'm at in my path is different from where they are in theirs, and maybe it's just easier to accept that and move on, right? The relationship message says, sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take the higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So definitely a positive message there. I will say this didn't come across as much of a romantic connection type of dynamic, but hopefully it resonated with you guys seeking guidance there. And the prosperity message says it is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. So that was an interesting thing to read there, as far as that made me think of the Four of Cups energy in your position and then seeing the Devil card and the outcome, right? So, yeah, I feel like this is asking you to have a little bit more faith this month. But hopefully that resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.